Hey guys, Top Tier Gaming here, and today we're coming at you with a top 10 on the top 10 biggest price jumps, or like most important price jumps, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has seen throughout its history. And like prices are sort of like a fluctuating thing. There's no like set price a card usually has, but we're going for like the highest point of what the card sold for, or like the average it sold for, to keep it as sort of like a consistent sort of thing.
It started from the bottom, then it was.
Yeah. So number 10 we have Rebirth Tangu. So this card was a very relevant card in around 2011 plant format.
Synchro.
Yeah, it came out in. Do you remember the sneak peek? Which one it was?
It was the. Was it Extreme Victory?
Yeah, it was Extreme Victory. So during the sneak peek day, I remember this very vividly. I was actually just going around asking people for their Reborn Tangus, and they were just giving them to me for free. Like this card was it was hyped, but not to the point where people were thinking it was ever going to be like a pricey card, because it was just a sneak peek card. And at the end of the first day, I had 18 Reborn Tangus in my binder, and like the next week they shot up to $20.
I kept mine, but I only had a playset.
Yeah, I was going around. People were just giving me Reborn Tangus for free. He was like under $5, I know for sure, and he jumped to 20. And all of a sudden, I was really rich off Reborn Tangus, and it was great. The card was really strong, and it was really important, so I can see why it made the price jump. It was pretty good overall.
Our number 9 comes from Duelist Revolution. We're talking about Bailar Effect. Bailar. It has been in and out of formats since it came out. It is at first when it came out, it was relatively cheap. What was it, around
20?
10 to 15?
Or somewhere around there, yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Because it wasn't really played.
And then later on, especially the Ultimate. Like the Ultimate reached like $90 at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, it really did. Like each copy, like 90 per copy at one point.
What's it at right now though? Like 50, 60?
Like 45, 50 for the ulti
yeah.
first. Like the ulti first and the non-first make a big difference.
When it didn't have a reprint, like before it got the rare,
before it got the super, the super was the first
even,
one.
Yeah.
I think.
Like the rare and the super made the price probably drop a lot, because when it first came out, Bailar wasn't played.
And then it went back up and retained value again.
Yeah,
like most hand traps do.
Bailar's just that card that just comes back and forth and just keeps going up, or it fluctuates a lot. So at number 8 we have Maxie. So this card also fluctuated a lot. It was sort of hyped at Storm of Ragnarok, but the YCS for like Samurais had just come then, and after that YCS it went down to like really, really cheap. Like it was under $10 at one point.
Because at that time, if you played Maxie as Samurai, they were just gonna loop you out of your whole deck.
Yeah, like
with the Mizuho double gateway combo.
Yeah, like there were like Maxie after that gained a lot of popularity though, and shot up to a really big price number. And then it sort of went back down again for a couple formats. I guess like Plant Synchro is what made it really expensive again. And then it went back down in a certain format. I don't remember the exact format. But then after that, it shot up a lot. Like I don't remember the exact prices, but I remember seeing on Troll like 120.
It's still expensive now because the Ultimate from the National.
Oh yeah, the Ultimate's really, really expensive too. But I'm just talking about the Secret Rare. It hit like 120. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw it up there. And it's what's the Secret at now? Like we have so many reprints of this card.
25, 30.
Yeah, it's cheap now, but it shot up from like.
I don't know if I'd say cheap.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. But compared to that 120, yeah. Back then, it jumped from like such a cheap price to such a huge number in a short amount of time, and that was ridiculous.
For number 7, we have a support card for the first Pendulum. The most competitive Pendulum deck that we had at the beginning was Cleafort, Summoner's Art from Tactical Evolution. It was a card that nobody ever thought was going to go up, because it was a rare from Tactical Evolution, set long past,
old, yeah.
Very cheap, and then it just exploded out of nowhere, reaching $30, $35. Especially like the secret, what do you call it, misprint. Like it was a rare card, but the name was secret, so people coveted those really highly. You needed them because you needed to start Scout and later on Monolith really badly, and that's it was a generic search card. Yeah. For any normal monster. Ignites used it, a lot of Pendulum decks used it. But probably the most successful is Cleafort for Scout.
So number 6 we have BLS. So this card is pretty much the only card on our list, I think, that is expensive because it came off the ban list. But this one I remember like pretty clearly because it had been reprinted in gold, and everyone was like debating whether it was going to come back or not. But some people decided to buy like 30 of them off Troll at Gold Rare for $5, or like all the Ultras for $5. And then all of a sudden he hit $50, and people were rich just like overnight when he came off the ban list. And that's sort of crazy because you could have made a lot of money had you had the foresight. And like I'm kind of sad I didn't go buy.
I remember like a month before the ban list, I saw it was coming out in gold, and I had picked up first ed IOC one and a Master Collection one, and just sat there because I was gonna keep one, and so like if it came back, I was gonna sell the other one, and it came back, so I ended up making my money off of it.
And that's just it was such an easy way to make money if we had just like seen it. Like a lot of people debated for the coming back, and some people were just like Konami would never bring that card back, and as we know now, the card does like nothing. So it's not really that potent.
Alright, number 5. We have one of the greatest rank 3s of all time. It's not really used that much today, but we're talking about Wind-Up Zen mains, where it reaches $100 plus. Back around when it first came out. At first, when it first hit, it was around $30. And then as time went on and decks started needing to stall out and pop things, it has steamrolled into a $100 plus card. It peaked at like $115. Almost every deck at the time could use it because Inzectors are rank 3, Wind-Ups could be rank 3 to 5, and Diamond Rabbit was Tour Guides. So I mean, every deck could play it. So every deck
did play.
So it was a very sought after card, secret rare from the set. So it was really hard to pull at the time too.
This is a really strong card for a really long time, too. Like, it got power creeped, I guess, like, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But when it first came out, it was a monster to face.
Yeah, because there's barely any main deck way around it.
Yeah, like, Inzectors had to pop it multiple times, so I guess they were, like, the best deck against it. Dolka could handle it, but Wind-Ups probably had the worst time dealing.
Like, if they got crept right when Castel hit. Like, when Castel hit, the card became not that big of an issue.
Well, I mean, Honor Arc, too. Like,
Honor Arc couldn't take it, though.
Right, it couldn't take it, but, like, once the power creep of, like, rank 4s and stuff came out, I guess, like, it just left.
Yeah.
So number 4, we have Dante. So this card is pretty notorious in today's format. Like, everyone knows this card. They've been around for 2 years, and just a super strong deck. But when he came out, he was sort of underhyped, I think, around $20 at Sneak Peek. And people were buying him for just cheap $20, and then about a month or so later, he just hits around $100. The deck had, like, picked up speed, people were playing different builds of it, not builds similar to what we have now.
People were so focused on Shaddolls that they just, brushed Burning Abyss aside because they thought it was another Noble Knight thing.
Another TCG deck, Noble Knight turn.
But now they're amping up for their second Nationals go. And no other deck has gone
ridiculous.
This far.
Yeah, it needs to be hit.
Like, if they win this time, that's 2 in a row. No deck has won 2 ever at all.
Yeah.
Alright, at number 3, we have Solemn Warning. I don't think any other Solemn card besides, like... Okay, Judgment. Judgment is iconic, but Warning is right there when you think of the Solemn cards. It is, in some circumstances, better than Judgment. Warning was... What was it on release? Like, 20 something like that? And then, like, at the highest point, first ed ulti was, like, 120. It had gained, like, $100 over the course of, like, a month or two.
Yeah.
It's... I mean, maybe a little further than that, because it was really... It is drawn out.
I remember buying them at the store for $25 a piece, Ultimate Rare.
Yep.
And then they were stolen, and then like the next week they jumped to 100, and I was so sad.
Like on release, Scrap Dragon was more. Like the
really, that's ridiculous.
I think Scrap Dragon was like 25 at the time, so he's like barely a little more than that.
That didn't make sense.
Yep.
Okay, so the next card we have is a very, very popular card for the longest time. It's at 1 now. It's Tour Guide. So this card came out of Extreme Victory, and Exceeds weren't out at the time, which is a very relevant thing when talking about this card. When it came out, it fluctuated a lot. I remember people selling it for 60. I remember like going down to 20s, and stuff like that. It was low end, and then Exceeds came out. And the problem with like Tour Guide and Exceeds is if you don't know this, when Exceeds first came out, you could normal Tour Guide, get Sangen, make Leviathan?
Yep.
Detach Sangen, and you could search off the Sangen.
Because at the time, Sangen counted from going from field to graveyard.
Right, and that was a real problem. That Tour Guide was pretty much like, make a big monster, search Bailar to your hand. Tour Guide hit, I think, 250?
280.
280? That card was
beating
super
out
expensive.
Dark Arm Dragon for the most expensive card of all time.
Except like Crush Card or whatever.
I mean, like, we don't talk about why it's just prize cards.
Like, if you think about it like that, you probably get a playset for around like $800, I guess. But that's too
If you didn't
high.
already have them, you probably weren't getting.
Like, I think 280 was its peak, but I think the average was sort of like, I think it was mostly 200.
It went down to like 150,
200, like
after the ruling dropped.
Yeah, like it was just still super expensive. Like Place at a Tour Guide 400, 450. Like no one wants to spend, and
That's
every
more than
deck
a
was
deck.
running it. Like every deck was running.
Especially Dino Rabbit, where you had to have the $100 plus rabbits.
Yeah,
too. But
and
they
then, like that was ridiculous because I guess every deck in the format played it, so it made sense that it went so high. Like Inzectors, Wind-Ups, Dino Rabbit, and but hitting 150 for like a card you need 3 of was terrible.
Yes. Number 1 is out of Star Strike Blast. It's a short print common. I bet we all know what it is. It's Vanity's Emptiness. Relatively unknown card until a couple formats ago. I bet the
quite a few formats ago.
Quite a few formats ago now.
Yeah.
And now it's at 1.
Yeah.
But back then, it escaped for a long time.
Yeah,
I don't understand how it.
An old set, and no one was.
I don't understand how it escaped so far.
I don't know.
Like, can you imagine that? Like during Dino Rabbit and
if people had known about,
like it'd been retarded.
Yeah.
To sit on a
It was out.
Sit on a Lagia and just have the exceed materials.
I think people were just so sad that oppression was gone. Yeah, dude.
But it jumped from nothing, like literally nothing, because nobody knew about it. It jumped to like 50 over the course of a few months for a common. It was a common with no reprints.
Yeah. What did it settle at? Like, was 50 where it settled?
It settled at 50.
Oh, that's great.
It
yeah,
was
that's
50.
Good. Yep.
And then the secret, like when it got reprinted, the secret, it didn't even go down. It just the common stayed, and the secret went to like 60.
That's $50 for a common is ridiculous.
Yep. But you needed it to compete at the time.
That's awful. Okay, so that was the top 10 biggest price jumps in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave in the comments what you think should have been on this list, or maybe how you would have ordered the list, or like what cards you're missing. There's got to be some.
We usually do miss one.
Yeah, and you
structured that video.
And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Share if you liked it. Subscribe. This was Top Tier Gaming. I'm gonna go turn that camera off. Bye, YouTube.
You're gonna turn the camera off in there?
Yep.